Today's episode, we're not going to go super deep on a lot of things. I just want to pick up on some things we left off last week. I was traveling last week to go visit my dad. My family's Irish. It's St. Patty's Day. Not difficult math to figure. Plus, my dad's 83, just got his second vaccination, and I haven't seen him in a year and a half. So, duh. Um, anyway, so that being said, take a look at kind of what we've done over the last week. I have been working almost every day in the background. I just haven't had a chance to shoot a video. So we'll talk a little bit about kind of what happened today. Today was kind of up and down. It was kind of a blah, dull day. I mean, there was no major, huge news. Um, we did have the news. I think there was another vaccine that's in like late stage, like right before it's going to get approved. So, great. The more the merrier. Jump on board. The high today, we're up about $3,000. We'll look at these numbers right here. All right, up about $3,000, 1.5%. Not a huge move. I mean, it looks like these big jagged moves, but they're not really that big because the range isn't that high. And then the furthest down we were down was about $2,000, down 1.25%. Both went up, and we ended the day at about 1.15% down. So not a big deal. But if we look at it over the course of a week, I mean, you see the big changes right here over the last couple days. This is today. There's not really much happening today, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. So overall, we're talking about movement today. So biggest movement today, AMC down. It's only because it's a meme stock, and that's to be expected. AHT, which is the sister stock for BHR, went down 12% today. I have it as a cost basis at 255. It's still hitting at 324. It's 27% over what we bought it for, so we're still good with that. And I want to say, what is my holding? Yeah, holding is about 5,400. Beyond that, I Kagi, which is good. If it goes down a little bit farther, we'll take a look. But just mentally remember it down 10% for one day. Saber, which one I'm looking at, we'll talk about that in a little bit, went down 8%. So Kagi and Saber down 10 and 8% respectively. AVCT, we're not really looking at right now. iHeart, we're sort of looking at it's down 6%. All right, so then we look at, and I'm just going to save this so that one less step to do when I have to sort these later. All right. Oh, while we're looking at that, top performers, Hall of Fame went up. Again, it's football season. There was some deal with something. I forget what it was, but somebody partnered. I think it was Skills partnered with the NFL on something, and then Hall of Fame took up. But I'm looking at this as people are getting into football. You have the draft coming up in Cleveland. You have um, the Hall of Fame is going to be graduating or accepting two new classes in Canton this summer. And I was just in Ohio, and I will tell you that the whole state's open. It was weird. I coming out of California, I had lunch with my family 2 days in a row inside, and I was like, "This is weird." Like I haven't had dinner or a meal inside a restaurant, like fully indoor dining, in over a year. So, with that being said, this is a no-brainer. It's going to take off. I mean, it's already gone up from almost break even to 128%, in the matter of probably a week. In one day it went up 76%, which we're looking at. We'll talk about that over 2 days. Blink charging went up pretty nice. Ellie's gaming went up. The rest of that is just within a standard deviation or so. Over 2 days, we'll take a look at the positives first. Hall of Fame's up 90%. It was over 90 today earlier. AINC, which, you know, we'll see. It's kind of in my doghouse right now. Went up 15%. The rest of it, standard deviation. And most of the stocks are like slightly negative for the most part. Skills went down, ironically, 18%. PBF and oil stock went down 17. PVAC and oil stock went down 12. It's probably profit taking because they had some good days last week. Helix, the same thing. Penn National Gaming's down 10%. We'll talk about them in a little bit. Century Casinos down 9%. Same thing. We'll talk about them. Golden Resorts. Again, these are three casino stocks. They're all down 9% roughly. So we're going to talk about that as well. So beyond that, nothing really huge to be said, just like we talked about. So let's talk about some movement. I bought MGM stock last week. It fell to $39, which was my limit price, and immediately shot back up. I can't even believe how well I priced that stock. I mean, it literally didn't go below 39. I got the whole order in. So that's really good. I put an order for Penn National Gaming. It's sitting here at 113. If it gets to 110, probably will. We're going to spend another 3,300 on it right now. Penn, we have it at $134. If we buy it at 110, it's probably going to get to like $125 cost basis, which is a beautiful thing because this is like the biggest no-brainer stock. It's going to be added to the S&P 500. So these people are forced to buy it. So it'll be a beautiful thing, and we'll have about 10 grand of cost basis on that. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Some other ones that are just kind of in our bullpen a little bit. Cinemark, which is the movie theater chains, down to 22.43. If we look at them over, let's see, Cinemark, they're down 5.5% today. Let's see where they're doing for 2 days. I want to say, yeah, 8.5%. So I was like, all right, this is a good time to get it. I haven't actually put the order in, but if it gets down to 22, I'll probably like heavily look at buying it at that number. Marlin Finance, I haven't talked about much. They actually do. Check this out. So this is an interesting stock, which I really haven't looked at in a long time, but they're kind of an indirect COVID stock. So they market products and services to small businesses. They include loans and leases for the acquisition of commercial equipment and working capital loans. What that means is when your business starts going up after COVID and you need to ramp up your capability to actually expand what you do, Marlin Finance is one of the companies you go to. So this is like a perfect indirect stock, the same way that every EVRI is a Vegas stock. It's not a casino, but they just run all the ATMs. So it's literally the every of COVID stocks. Um, so that being said, take a look at them a little bit further. It's down at 14.27. If it gets down to 13.50, and I'll show you kind of how I came up with that. So I was looking at all the drops where it hit the drop, and we have a drop here at 14.44, but we're almost there, right? We're below that right now, so I'm discontinuing that. And we take the lowest drop in a given area, which is down at 13.32 and 13.55. So just kind of rounded those two numbers, got an even number, got it down to 13.50. Figure that's a good place to get it. So beyond that, Sabre, same thing, 14.25. So we'll take a look at Sabre here. And again, this is software that travel agents use and airlines use to book flights. So the more flights, the more these people get paid. So again, kind of like EVRI for the travel industry. So you don't necessarily buy the airline, but you buy the software that underwrites it. So with that being said, I had this at 14.25, and we started looking here, which is a good place to buy. But then I wanted to take a look a little further, get down to 13.87, and it could go lower, but I have a feeling the stock isn't going to quite get down to there again. So we started looking at this one, and I figured if it dips down just below this one, so in between these two, pick a nice round number, 14.25. If it gets down to there, we'll put an order in to buy that. Beyond that, I want to free up some money because I see a ton, as you see, I see a ton of possibility for new buys to go in. So I was looking at a couple things. So fuel cell, it's a Biden stock, as I call it. Um, we'll look to liquidate that. Take a look here. We have 5,000 for that one. So we're not going to sell all of it. Currently, I own about 7,800 to 8,000. So how many shares do we have of that? Fuel cell is 500 shares. So we're kind of profit taking at this point. We'll do half of that, sell half of that if it gets up to 20 bucks. Still got a long way to go. But if we have a big sharp day where it jumps up and hits 20, we're going to clear half of that and then reinvest that. Next ID, same thing. This one right here is a cybersecurity stock. We have 3,900 shares, about $6,000 in overall purchase. So if that's the case, we'll basically sell half of it if it gets up to 325. Again, it's got a long way to go, but it's jumped quickly in the past, so we're just going to put that in there for us. FTFT, which is a blockchain company, blockchain finance company out of Beijing. 700 shares there. We have 1330. So again, you'll see my trend here, about half. If it has a big day where it jumps, and this one's jumped a lot too, if it gets to 10, again, it's got a long way to go. We'll clear some money on that. And then Fubo, which has been going up slowly, but every indicator this is going to pop at some point. So I'm really not too worried about it, especially since they just announced they're getting into sports gambling. So it's pretty much a no brainer. We take a look at Fubo, and Fubo's got 300 shares. And again, we do half of that. It gets up to 38. And let's see, let's take a look here. We bought it 37.77. So just clearing out some money, not make it so much top heavy like we see here. If it gets up to 38, we'll sell half of it and let the rest run. So with that being said, we will clear this out. So we're sitting here still at about slightly under 400%. We had a couple blah days over the last week. So still we're about quintuple what we gained with a total gain, a total value of about 164. We were up at 170 not long ago, and we'll be there pretty soon. So with that being said, you got to sense what I'm doing. We're going to take advantage. If we have some really good days where some of these pop, some of the ones that have popped fast, we're going to take advantage of it, take some of those profits and reinvest it elsewhere. We have some nice active buys we have here. We bought MGM, and we have some in the bullpen that we want to take advantage of as well, especially if some of these sells go through. With that being said, so our travel sector is up basically double. Entertainment's up 60%. I do want to get some more of that, hence the Cinemark as well. Oil's up 151%. Casinos are up 141%. I can't wait till Penn National Gaming jumps up as well. Biden stocks we're trimming down. So this one we're going to trim down. And then some of the other ones we're going to trim down as well. And then crypto we're going to trim down as well. So overall, we're sitting here at 52, 53, 63, 67, but 71. We're slightly getting up there. We were in the mid 60s before, 71, 72% on our reopened stocks. And we're going to kind of continue to shift our portfolio that way. So if you have any questions, let me know. That's my game plan. I want to hear about yours. Put a comment in the video or shoot me an email. And I'd love to hear from you. That being said, talk later.
To get more information on the sales cheat code, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below. Also, down below in the video description, down there, there's a link that takes you to our website that gives you additional content, some additional freebies that we have, and gives you information on some programs that we have that have been proven to help people to make sales easy so that you can make the kind of money you want, live the lifestyle that you've always wanted, and not have to struggle in the process. And what might be the coolest thing of all is you don't have to put much effort into it. It truly is a cheat code that most people don't know about. And it's a cheat code that can change your life today. So click on the link below and let me help you start to experience these results starting right now.